right, we're here. Welcome back, stream. Lucky with me, subbing in for Stixa, as Stixa is casting the blue team once again over on his channel, twitch.tv/Stixa, if you wanted to watch the continuation of that doubleheader. If you're here right now, you are a fan of Division A East because we have a battle between Average Joes and Witch Rhythm. Joining me for this is once again going to be SoLucky. How you doing, man?
How are you doing, Murda? I am fine today.
I too am doing fine, sir. Let's see if these teams are ready, because we finally got them in lobby. Sorry for that little bit of a delay. This is kicking off about 12 minutes late, but talking to the teams, they didn't seem to mind much. They needed a little extra time getting some strategies put together. These teams are both fighting for leading spots in this division. It's so early, and they want to make sure they leave this with a W. We do have an R from both teams, so we're going to jump right into our first map, which is going to be Volskaya Foundry. All right, so while we have a moment, I want to talk about the picks and bans during the coin flip today. We had Average Joes winning the coin toss. They banned away Infernal Shrines. Witch Rhythm then chose to ban out Tomb of the Spider Queen. Here we are. Pick number 1 by Average Joes, Volskaya Foundry. Map number 2 will be Dragon Shire, and this draft is underway with a Phoenix being banned away by Witch Rhythm.
Pretty standard ban. Phoenix is good. Kind of like the all-around hero. Clear waves, do lots of hero damage, help with camps, and the Medivh ban.
Medivh is one of those heroes at the high level, can be played very well on Volskaya Foundry. It helps you get members back to safety or pull them into an engagement. There's huge lanes that Medivh can cause havoc in. Maiev, the next S tier hero available, snapped right up by Witch Rhythm, and I'm expecting with that sort of confident selection there, taking it so quickly, that they have someone who's gonna be pretty good on this Maiev, Lucky.
Yeah, it was a pretty quick snap pick. Maiev is S tier, so it's kind of one of those heroes. Whatever team you're on, whatever division, you kind of want to have at least one player who can play that Maiev comfortably and know when to weave in, tether, set up the Warden's Cage, all that good stuff that Maiev does do for your team.
Absolutely. While I have you guys in draft, I do want to talk about the bottom of the screen. You do see a bit donation goal. We are working towards hosting the Regen Invitational once again before season 5. That's the team Lucky and I play for. So if you want to see that event happen, contribute bits here and we'll get that event started for you. Both these teams playing tonight will be invited since they're being casted by me. All the bits will go towards the prize pool, so appreciate that if you're a fan of these teams. Garrosh, Malfurion, the next 2 chosen here by Average Joes. These are 2 S tier heroes once again. They're really picking meta heroes so far in the draft.
This is really just a meta draft, yeah. And then you have the Stukov too. ETC, not as meta as he was maybe like 2 months ago, but he's still a good tank. You know, he can set up Maiev too. If he slides in, boops back target, Maiev has got an easy tether, and Stukov just pretty much the other S tier of the 2 S tier supports right now.
Yeah, absolutely. But both were taken away, and they are on the teams they will be on for this game here on Volskaya. So now the ban situation looks different, because now you're looking at banning away some more of those assassins. Each team has a tank and a healer. Maiev, of course, selected for Witch Rhythm. So there's a lot of different paths these teams can go. Having a Malfurion, maybe something like a Tracer would be good. They can move into even a Genji. There's really endless options here, and that's what I love about having a draft like this, is that you can really pivot into anything you want to do based off of what you see the other team starting to play.
Correct. So we see the Hanzo ban. Hanzo is a soft counter to Garrosh because he pokes out Garrosh over and over, and Garrosh has a hard time stepping into Hanzo. So we see that counter ban for the Garrosh, so the tank doesn't get completely poked out. And the ban, we got the Blaze on side of Witch Rhythm.
Mr. Blaze, one of those solo here, heroes that is pretty good down there in the solo lane, and he has a lot of survivability with his trait. He has obviously one of the best wave clear kits in the game, and he has the bunker, which is so good, especially on Volskaya when your team
against Maiev.
Yeah. Holding down the point, it's just one of those ultimates that can really swing the tide if you time it well and your team can play into it. So I'd like them banning it away so that it isn't a counter to the Maiev. And yeah, Tracer, just as I thought might be the case, it is Tracer and a Junkrat, which will help a lot with the wave clear that Tracer lacks.
Yeah, it's a good pairing. Tracer Malfurion. Tracer does, if you have a good Tracer in your team, she should do fairly well even into Maiev, because even if Maiev tethers, Tracer's got her own self-cleanse with her recall, so she really shouldn't be in any danger to Maiev, unless the case where she gets caught out, stunned, silenced, and you know what I mean, tethered. But those are pretty extenuating circumstances for a decent Tracer player to be in.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing they have to worry about is the Warden's Cage into the Lurking Arm from Stukov and Maiev, and if that combo comes off and anyone is stuck inside, it's going to be a lot of kills. Now pairing with the Greymane and Liming, which is of course a Cursed Bullet plus full mage combo, that is going to be very hard to survive through. Greymane, as we know, one of the best heroes to play into a Tracer because of the go for the throat that he can rip through, and his auto attack damage does a chunk onto her as well.
Yeah. So we're seeing a triple assassin comp, which is we'll have to see how it plays out. But the Greymane, I'm gonna assume is gonna be in the soul lane bottom. You can also have rotations for Maiev, things like that. So we'll see how Average Joe's responds to potentially what we're all going to assume to be the Greymane solo lane. See how they play out. So,
Lucky, you play a lot of Greymane. Do you want the Cursed Bullet or the Go for the Throat in this matchup so far? Which one's going to get you the most value with the Garrosh or a Tracer?
Normally, I would say against the Garrosh, it's really tough for Greymane to go Worgen form most of the time. But with a comp that they have with the Maiev and the Stukov Silence and the ETC, I think you can go. I think you go for the throat here. Because you just have a kill comp, right? The quicker you get a kill, the more Liming gets resets, the more you just win these team fights very hard. So I'd say if Witch Rhythm gets one kill, you're going to see Average Joe's either do one of two things: either back up immediately, hopefully they get out, or two, get completely wiped.
So neither team taking a solo laner that is high in the meta. They're opting for the alternative routes. It might be a Thrall up against a Greymane if I had to guess. We will see though. Match number 1 about to start, and what do you guys think in chat? I'm gonna put out a poll to see who you think is gonna win game number 1. Let us know by voting using !vote, and yeah, we'll see what you guys think.
Do you have any? If you had to put a bet on a team, which team would you pick?
I think I'm liking Average Joe so far in this. I like having the Garrosh. I like having the Mouth Tracer. Yeah, it's really good.
Average Joe's okay. I'm gonna give it to the other side. I'm gonna give it to Witch Rhythm. I'm gonna give it to Witch Rhythm with this all-in kill comp, hyper aggressive comp, where you really come in, because yeah, it's the kind of guy I am.
The battle begins in 10 seconds.
All right, I got that poll started. Let me introduce the team on the right.
5, 4.
Is Average Joe's John Knight playing Thrall, Psycho on Tracer. We have Tox 1K on the Garrosh Tax, rather. Sorry, Random Task is playing the Junkrat, and we'll call him Hanyu on the Malfurion.
On the right side, coming in from Witch Rhythm, almost goes down. We have ETC
Falling.
a lot of action going on before I can even talk about players. Okay, so we got Matt 407 on the ETC. We have Liming played by Magnetic, Real Rad Dad on the Maiev getting a pull there. Blitz playing Greymane, and Ender on the Stukov.
Yeah, so last game I casted, the player's name was Ember, played support, and now we're seeing Ender here coming out from Witch Rhythm, so a little bit of a wordplay there. Real Rad Dad taking so much damage, and he will fall, so now 2 for nothing. Average Joe's taking the early lead here on Volskaya. Bot lane, as predicted, it's Thrall and it's Greymane. This is going to be an interesting matchup you don't see often, at least here in the competitive play. You might see it in your quick matches, your unranked dress, but Greymane up against a Thrall, they're not the two most common solo lane picks. Greymane, of course, can do it. Thrall, of course, himself can do it. There's just different selections more recently, and these teams are trying to play more of an assassin style here in this game number 1.
Yeah, I like the Thrall on this map, but usually I would think the Thrall gets value off Crash Lightning, because when you go on the objective, it's just a lot of poking, and for one team, oh, a lot of action going on here. Malfurion play behind you, just skipping away. Real Rad Dad looking to go in on the Maiev, gets the tether, gets a kill on the Junkrat, pulls him back. It looks like Garrosh is going to go down, and Greymane swiping, ETC hitting, and the Garrosh goes down, so counter kills, 2 for 2.
And Thrall trying to run away up the conveyor belt, but he's being chased. The power slide connects. Make it 3 for nothing. Witch Rhythm right back in this game. Now have the jump on level 4 here. They are just barely about to grab it. And talking of grabbing, it's a support camp. They want it early. There's level 4 picked up. They have the talent here. They know their team is not yet respawning back in lane, so this is a quick and easy support camp grab for Witch Rhythm.
It worked out really well for them, because they wanted to secure that Thrall that was running way up on the conveyor belt, and after they got that kill, it was, you know, we have a big window here. Let's take the support camp and secure this first objective, which is coming up in about 28 seconds.
Camp prioritization right now by Witch Rhythm. They got their turret right away along with that support camp. They're now working on these little dudes up in the top. I don't even know what are you calling these guys here? Rocket men?
I figure I call it the siege camp, right? I'll just be like, I'll say it's the siege camp.
Okay, it's just the siege camp.
I don't know what kind of guys they are, and they're holding the siege camp. Okay, so they hold it for a couple seconds. They wanted to just try and maximize the value. They can't push, have it right when this objective started, and now we're underway in the objective phase of this part of this map.
I like getting the early points. Of course, it's going to be contested, neither side getting it quite yet, which was actually a very heads-up play by Random Task and his team there. Turret being dropped by Witch Rhythm will help zone away this back side of the control point. ETC falling to half health.
And damage.
Wow.
Junkrat mine.
Oh, Junkrat, huge mine. The silence by Stukov holding steady some members of Average Joe's there. Tracer looking for the flank side, see if she can get some damage onto Leeming. But there it is, the support camp they picked up earlier, going to heal back up Witch Rhythm. They are getting very close to level 7. They're trying to get the XP in lane. Turret's still down, but it's going to be the turret from Average Joe's that's going to be played next, and it's going to mean that Witch Rhythm's going to have to back off this control point for a bit.
It's pretty funny too, because Thrall has been soaking this entire time, so you have Average Joe's taking this fight 4-5, and they're actually doing not too bad. Junkrat gets chunked out by Leeming combo, and it looks like Average Joe's going to have to back up for now. They can no longer take this objective 4v5. They're just getting chunked out a bit too hard by Witch Rhythm. And
Witch Rhythm is just about their level 7s. Excuse me for not showing talents earlier in the game. Here they are. Yeah, it looks like Triglav picked up, as well as those 7 talents. We have targeted Excision from Stukov and Wizened Duelist from Greymane. What are your thoughts on that talent?
Wow. You know what? I feel like it's a risky build, especially since you don't have a bruiser and you only have an ETC. But I guess with the pace that they're going, it looks like they're gonna look for, you know, they're looking for this height. They want to secure kills. They want to get that first kill, and with the extra damage on Greymane, it's gonna be even. It's gonna help them in what their comp is meant to do, and it's meant to blow up someone right away and then work off resets.
Absolutely. Taki, I see you in chat too, baby. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining here tonight. Triglav gets a wall up top. They are finishing up some of the minions here at mid. Do they want to work on that fort? No, they're going to rotate to the bottom. Only 7 seconds left, so probably not enough time to make it to this wall at all. And I think overall, taking the 7s, and now you're at 8, almost 9. You have a 1 level lead after that. This is definitely working in favor of Witch Rhythm so far. And it's really going to be the level 10s that are going to make the difference in this game. Which direction will Greymane go? Of course, the Warden's Cage, the predicted pickup, but will it actually be the selection? Right now, the selection is Thrall, and a kill secured by Witch Rhythm. Make it 4 now for them. But a counter kill picked up by Average Joe's. Going to make it a 1-for-1 there in that. And Real Rad Dad looking for more on the Maiev, but he's stunned by Garrosh. ETC has to come in with a power slide to negate the combo. They're back to safety. Lucky, that could have been explosive for Average Joe's there.
Heads up play, very heads up play by Matt 47 on the ETC. He sees that the Garrosh was going to get this combo on the Maiev, and it was going to shift momentum and give Average Joe's a bit of XP lead back because they'd be able to control the lanes. But ETC slides in, stops the engage, and he saves his Maiev. So heads up play by Matt 47 on the ETC.
Yeah, I love having ETC into Garrosh for that exact reason. He has the face melt, he has the power slide. They're both really good at countering what Garrosh wants to do with the combo of his own. Support camp is up, and it looks like Matt 407 is keeping his eyes on it. Does not want to let Average Joe's in here. They have the level 10. I would have loved to see them make an aggressive play here. Junkrat is going to scout ETC. So, yeah, a bit of a waste with the talent tier advantage here, Lucky.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple things you can do with the 10. I mean, you can look to take, like I said, if you have 10, why not take the support camp? If you want to be even a little more risky, you can go and invade their siege, and while they're working on clearing the siege they just stole, then you can work your way back to the support camp. But they kind of sit back, and now ETC, looking for a slide, kind of backs up because his team is not there, and Thrall is coming up from Average Joe's to try and make this 4v4 a 5v4. Maiev spots him, and he's clearing out mid, while Greymane for Witch Rhythm is still soaking the bottom lane.
Random Task playing Junkrat is doing a great job of checking all these bushes with his little, what are they called? Grenade frag launcher shots. What a mosh pit!
We have the Warden's Cage, Stuke of Silence, and there we got some kills.
Oh, jeez. All right, it's a 1-for-1. The Riptire comes out, and there's a Sundering. Gonna help lock down Maiev. Matt 407 now has to back up, and he's the next to fall, probably because Tracer's right on him. No, he gets to safety, but what started to look like a huge fight for Witch Rhythm turned right around by Average Joe's. They survive it, and I think it was really the concussion mine from Junkrat that split the team and saved them there.
I'm gonna have to watch a replay on that one because I for sure thought it was gonna be the 2 to 3 man wipe for Witch Rhythm right off the bat. You had a big ETC mosh, but I guess I'm gonna take your word and say it probably was, the Junkrat saving his team. And now you kind of have to go into this objective. Maybe for Witch Rhythm you want to get 13 because you don't have the mosh, you don't have the Warden's Cage. I think you go for the throat, and I think you have Flaming Swipe. You may or may not.
Oh, so Tracer. Tracer got slid on there. Didn't use the go for the third. I'm assuming it's still on cooldown. Of course, we still can't see because of the UI bug. But getting back to the well is Psycho, and that Tracer still has a turret. One that has already been played down, trying to be protected by Garrosh, but it will be destroyed. Now the silence coming out from Ender and the Stukov. So holding point right now is going to be Witch Rhythm, but they are awaiting those cooldowns. We don't know how much longer. It can't be too much longer. But they do not have them quite yet, and you can kind of tell by their posturing that they're ready to move out if they come in, and maybe now we have them ready to go.
So Witch Rhythm did the Maiev did get the 13 for them up in the top lane wave, and you see Thrall trying to get that soak too as well. So you also have Average Joe's kind of just, they're trying not to give up too much control on the objective, but right now they've been completely zoned off because they don't have they're the one man down, and they don't have the 13 talent here. But it looks like Thrall's coming up. Maybe they wait for one more wave, or maybe they're just going to go in without talent tier.
If they want this tree god, they have to move in now, and there's Garrosh. Tax 1k, making the play forward. The turret's been dropped. It's going to be destroyed quickly. There's a power slide only on the Malfurion, going to be interrupted by the Sundering, and the kill right away on ETC. Looking for more now as Average Joe's. There's the Pulse Bomb connecting onto Greymane, making it 2-for-0. Tracer looking for more. Stukov going to be the next to fall, and there it is. A 3-for-0. Make it 4. Average Joe's move in with 99% on that capture point for Witch Rhythm. They now have it under their control. They barely had 13 in time to make it happen, and that's what they did. They took the big fight down the talent tier and ended up winning it, Lucky. What a huge play.
Yeah, and you're seeing this displacement comp coming out from average Joes, really negating these moshes. Twice now. You had the Sunder interrupt the mosh this time, and you had just you know, the Junkrat mine. You also have Twilight Dream if you really need it. So you have a ton of mosh interrupt. Real Red Dad trying to pull that Tracer on the Maiev, doesn't get him just quite yet, and they're looking at no,
Wow.
average Joes secures this. Garrosh runs into the Punisher, big Warden's Cage, and the Greymane goes down from a pulse bomb.
I gotta say, the Tree Lap has to walk through that Warden's Cage to disable those barriers. There's a Sundering once again. A kill onto ETC. It's a 2-0 right now in this skirmish. Garrosh the only one in the Tree Lab right now. Will they pop anyone else in? I guess they're waiting for some cooldowns. But there's Tracer joining finally. And this fort is all but dead. They're definitely going to start looking onto this keep wall because ETC is down for another 18 seconds.
Greymane just rising right now, and 16 is right around the corner for average Joes. After this wall, the second part of this wall goes down, they will have 16. And you know what? There's still 20% on this. Oh, the Tree Glove wraps around, tries to get a stomp, doesn't hit. Laser goes down. Still working on this keep wall, and the keep wall will go down. Average Joes will just back up with the rest of their Punisher, their Tree Glove, Punisher, and their 16 talent here.
Yeah, huge swing in this game. Witch Rhythm was up big early, it seemed, and now it is all average Joes. 11-5 on the kill count. 16 has been picked up. All the talents have now been selected. We see Thunderstorm coming out from Thrall to pair with his Echo at level 1, and endless nades from the Junkrat will help him continue his siege as long as he's hitting heroes. This is definitely turning out to be a bloodbath for average Joes right now, and with their team stacked up as 5, this is a very deadly combo they have here.
And a lot of these fights are very close, but the mosh interrupts have been very key to saving average Joe's booties, because these moshes are getting interrupted immediately. And if you get that one kill off of a mosh, like I said, you have the comp from you have a reset comp from Witch Rhythm, so a good heads up play by all average Joes to make sure that, you know, that single kill doesn't get secured and snowballed into multiple kills during these team fights.
Sorry about that. I switched scenes for a brief second. You didn't miss anything. I was trying to pull up the damage charts as being requested in chat there. Yeah, it's really a bunch of Junkrat in this game, leading hero damage, leading siege damage, and if we take a look overall, it's a very similar story. Falling 3 times has been the ETC, which is not what you want if you're Witch Rhythm here in this game number 1.
Yeah, you got Tracer securing 7 kills out of 11 kills, so you're seeing this Tracer value.
Make it 8.
Oh, there we go. Speak of the devil, of that cute little Overwatch shooter.
Okay, so 12-5 now. Average Joe's leading the way once again. They have the support camp. They have a turret. I believe, no, it's still 43 seconds on the Witch Rhythm turret side. They are going to work on their siege camp up here in the top left. And it's going to be capture point C, which this is the one capture point in the game that gives a lot of teams the most trouble. These conveyor belts are very annoying to play around, and I don't know which team necessarily has the favor here. If Malfurion can use a conveyor belt to put himself in the middle of Witch Rhythm and pull off a fat Twilight Dream, that's a play I'd like to keep an eye on. But yeah, it's gonna have to be Maiev making it happen with the Stukov. The combo is what they wanted. The Warden's Cage and the Silence, they have to play it. And if level 20 gets picked up eventually by average Joes and that play doesn't come out, you can all but count Witch Rhythm out of this game, Lucky.
Access terminal online.
So average Joes, I would like them to hold on to their camp capture. So pretty much right about now, they took it's fine. Gets cleared out, so it doesn't get too much value. It doesn't really get any value if aside from buying time for average Joes to get on the point and get some percentage. But you have ETC and Leeming clearing that up at the top, and you will see them rotating down. Right now it is a 50-50 fight, and not really in favor of either team. I would say average Joe's probably has a smaller. Oh, looks like Maiev has got a pull on this Junkrat. Junkrat just sneaks away with his concussive mine, or whatever it's
Yeah, he just boops himself away. Picked up Ripper Air at level 13, gives him that little bit of distance and a reset on his concussion mine if he only hits himself with it. So yeah, he barely gets away. You can tell he has comfort on the hero. This is definitely Average Joe's taking it slow, knowing that it's a lot to channel these things. They pick up a support camp as well as 3 turrets, and they're ready to make their move forward. They want to make sure that they're not giving away anything for free. So Junkrat getting his health fully back. And the team's healthy. They're ready to go. They don't have the 20s yet, but they have to make a play here. They can't give away the Tree Glove for free. There's the first turret being dropped by Garrosh. He's looking at ETC. Doesn't want to throw back a mosh pit into his team by letting the turret do the work. They have some more turrets ready to go, and there it is. All the tools being dropped on the point. There's going to be a rip tire. It's going to secure a kill, and dropping a turret is Stukov. So another beautiful setup by Average Joe's, making sure that they win their 3rd Tree Glove of the game. There's nothing they can do with ETC and Stukov down here. It's just going to be waiting it out and hopefully defending, because level 20s are picked up now for Average Joe's. We'll take a quick peek at what they're going for, and yeah, it's Cannonball from Junkrat. The siege damage is going to be pretty intense. That extra explosion radius. Another kill now. It's Greymane falling. A concussion mine separating Maiev. Real Rad Dad could be the next to fall. The pulse bomb comes out, but wasn't even needed. 4 now dead. Yeah, get stuffed.
He got him. He got him. the pulse bomb went boom. Get stuffed.
Tree Glove now ready, and this will be pressuring onto a keep wall because this fort is so close to dying. What's left if you're Witch Rhythm here, Lucky? Like, what is your play? Because you don't have your Maiev. All you have is a Li Ming for damage. This is definitely, in my opinion, going to be the keep falling here. I don't know what they can do to prevent it.
This is 100% keep fall. It's gonna. The question is, will it be game? It depends on how Witch Rhythm plays this out. They don't have 20. They're quite far from 20, and the keep is almost down. They're still about, I would say, 80% of health on this Tree Glove, and it's going for the core. They want the core.
Going for core is Average Joe's. Going for Greymane was Tracer. Now 10 kills for Psycho. The mosh pit comes out, only connecting onto one. It was the Thrall, but there's the kill. ETC has fallen once again. 5 deaths on ETC in this game, and this core is now under a lot of trouble because 3 members are dead. The Tree Glove still alive for 30 seconds. Maiev the only option available for any sort of damage, and game number 1 going over to Average Joe.
Game numero uno going, I would say, after the couple early game skirmishes back and forth, it was kind of controlled, and you kind of saw the holes in Witch Rhythm's draft where they have this really all-any comp. Like, we're gonna get this mosh, and we're gonna get 1 kill. We're gonna get a lot of resets off of it. But it looked like Average Joe's had the way to deal with it. And every time there was a mosh, there was an interrupt within a second and a half of that mosh channel.
What a game by Tracer, what a game by Junkrat. These 2 heroes played very well, and you got to give it up to Average Joe's. They took their composition. I said pregame I liked having the Tracer. It paid off, and you saw what kind of dirty work he can do here on Volskaya.
Yep. Thrall too, having great Sunder plays, great interrupts, a great, just, I mean, you got a lot of squishy target. Pretty much the entire team on Witch Rhythm is squishy. Even the tank, it's one of the squishiest tanks you do see out of the hero pool, besides like maybe a new wreck. And so you have a lot of damage going on to all these squishy targets, not allowing Witch Rhythm to get that reset city going that they wanted so badly during this match.
All right, so we're going to take a short break. We'll be back for game number 2. It's going to be Dragon Shire, so hang tight, Twitch. We will be back in about 5 minutes. Thanks. All right, welcome back. I think we're still waiting on Lucky to rejoin us. He stepped away for a quick moment. I don't know if you can hear him right now yelling at his cat. It looks like Lucky is back. Teams are ready, so let's wait no longer. Heading into game number 2, it is Dragon Shire. Welcome back, Lucky.
Hi, Myrtle.
Dragon Shire.
Thanks for welcoming me back. Do I need to log in here? I think I do.
All right, Dragon Shire. We saw this in the previous match I casted this evening. It was held pretty steadily top lane by a Leoric up against a Blaze. So yeah, the top lane, a huge priority here on Dragon Shire. Of course, you want to make sure your 4-man is good enough to keep the rotations up or hold someone down in the in the middle, in the mid lane, and have the other 3 control that bot shrine. So which direction do you like going? Do you like having just a huge wave clear, like let's push 4-man? Do you want to put a little prio on the top lane at all, Lucky?
Top lane is pretty far from the mid lane. So top lane, this is one of those maps where top lane is pretty isolated. You can do a couple things. You can prioritize good wave clear, good murking in the 4-man to be able to take sieges really quickly, wave clear, and potentially try and get the bottom bruiser. Or you can also draft a comp with one of these mobile heroes like a Tracer or Genji to help the top lane.
Yeah, we saw game 1. It was Falstead that was helping the Blaze up against Leoric. I do want to take a quick moment to give a huge shout out to my boy Recyclic in chat right now through the sub at me. Of course, you're already part of the Regen family, playing for Regen Red as a support player right now. Love having you on board. Thanks, Rek.
Rek is super bougie.
Rek is super bougie.
Like he is. He's a bougie player. He's very bougie in support.
He's after that. He's after that man butt, right?
He is. What can you do?
What can you do?
It's more important than water.
Phoenix and Stukov, the bans here in the first ban phase. First pick will be for Average Joe's on the left-hand side. I'd expect to see, just like game number 1, we're going to see these S-tier heroes prioritized. Both teams following the meta in game number 1. I'd expect nothing less here in game number 2.
Interesting enough, I was thinking about it the first when you told me the first map bans. So both teams banned out these 4-man rotation maps, Infernal and then Tomb. So I was kind of surprised when you told me the second map was Dragon, but maybe I'm not sure which team drafted or picked this map. Maybe they have something up their sleeve.
Yeah, this map was selected by Witch Rhythm, so
Witch Rhythm, okay.
they're obviously going to be comfortable on it. It was their selection, picked up pretty quickly. I think Average Joe's was like, yeah, okay, I think we saw that one coming. But yeah, I think the Malfurion's a safe play. The Stukov's already banned away by them, so it was like, hey, we're gonna ban Stukov. You can ban away Phoenix if you want, but then we're gonna get the S-tier support player. And yeah, I like this play. I actually really like this play because now you're kind of in a pickle if you're Witcher, though.
Yeah, so they obviously Average Joe's they have answers for the Maiev, and we see Witch Rhythm going with Maiev anyways. I guess they have this confidence, and I think Witch Rhythm, if they kind of shape around their draft to be a little more standard, not so all in on this, all in a lot of big damage assassin comp reset, what they ran last game. Maybe they have a better chance than Maiev. Maiev is still S tier. So we'll see if Average Joe's can still deal with it this match with whatever Witch Rhythm's draft turns out to be.
Yeah, so the Blaze early, it's going to give Average Joe's a few chances to counter it. Of course, I mentioned Leoric, we saw earlier tonight on my stream, was very strong up against Blaze. I think even Sonya would be a great pick for them as well. So there's a few different options they can move into. So I wouldn't necessarily prioritize the solo lane right here. I think you just got to go back into the Garrosh and the Tracer. Like, these are the two heroes that worked out so well in game number 1 for them, and having them again here in game number 2. Yeah, it might be back to the drawing board for Witch Rhythm because they didn't have an answer game 1, and they have to find something here in this draft to work against that Tracer.
Absolutely. like you said, and I got to give it up to I forget, I think his name was Psycho or Psypo. He did a good job in the Tracer. And the Tracer's job is to harass the front line, work on the back line, weave in and out. And when there's a kill, you secure it with pulse bomb, melee, whatever you got to do, recall out, and get yourself to safety. And we'll say Psypo did a great job last game. He led the chart in kills secured and had pretty good damage numbers. It didn't top it, but that's just, sometimes that's not always the easiest case because you had Junkrat that does more spread damage as opposed to Tracer single target damage and finish.
Absolutely. Is Greymane the answer again? We'll find out. I don't know. We see a Thrall ban, which I don't really know what they want the Thrall ban for. I don't think they're going to put Thrall up against Blaze top lane. It's not going to work for him. You're leaving a lot of windows open here. They could still go into that Junkrat again, which was so good in game number 1. I don't know if you're Witcher than what you're about to do here, but I don't think the Greymane's the answer. It really wasn't the solution game 1 because of the Garrosh, especially.
It was tough. Definitely, it was tough. I think maybe if Witcher them flexed, maybe if they pick up a Hanzo somewhere, maybe up on this rotation. Hanzo does very good against Tracer because Hanzo pretty much chunks Tracer whenever Tracer tries to step up because Hanzo's range is, what Jim Raynor's range should be. But because the Greymane can't, whenever the Greymane tries to harass the Tracer, you have the Garrosh step up. So you have Tracer going in, and then you have Greymane trying to counter pressure, and then you have the Garrosh step up and say, hey, lay your hands off my Tracer. You're going nowhere near him. And we have the Genji. Genji is actually a decent answer to Tracer. You will have to play around the Garrosh, so make sure that he doesn't get tossed or taunted during, these trying to put pressure on the Tracer.
I do like the Genji. I think the Genji is one of those picks that's going to work. Of course, you have the Protect up against the Pulse Bomb, which is already hard to connect onto him anyway. And he can really harass the back line and get out of a Garrosh toss with his Swift Strike. Of course, the one thing to worry about is the Twilight Dream from Malfurion. If he's too deep, will it be a problem for him?
Ooh, the Greymane again! The Greymane again!
Yeah!
Which Rhythm does not want to get... They do not want to... They may be stuck in the meta that, the old Greymane meta, but the meta has shifted.
It's not that I hate Greymane. It's just like I saw what happened in game number 1, and it's just so scary to be playing the Greymane into this Garrosh. It was so good, and Tracer like really didn't get shut down by him at all.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to particularly work out again. I would have loved to see like a Leoric or something and have Blaze as a solo tank. Something like that, because you need an answer. You need to enable these assassins to work past Garrosh. Greymane does not work past Garrosh. Genji is going to have a tougher time. Maiev as well going to have a tough time working past Garrosh. So how do you dive past the Garrosh if there's a T-Dream and there's a taunt every time you dive the backline? You're going to get wrecked. So we'll see how it works out. And then you have Average Joe's going with a more standard comp, picking up S-tier, not S-tier, but top tier solo lane Sonya, and then Junkrat, who did a great job, had top damage last game for Average Joe's.
These are the exact 2 picks I thought they were going to take. The Sonya to respond to Blaze, and the Junkrat, like you said, did so well in game number 1. It's almost an identical composition. You switch out Thrall for Sonya, and Average Joe's, we saw what they did game 1 with it, and this game number 2, I'd expect more of the same. They played it so well, and there's not a new answer to it. It's the Greymane, it's the Maiev. I mean, I know you have the Genji. Is Genji enough? Is Blaze going to be able to do enough? I don't think he's even going to be alive up against Sonya in the top lane. So all that you have left to pick is a healer, and they're already choked out because Stukov is banned away, Malfurion was picked. It has to be Uther. So
Uther is the right pick. If they're going to make this work, they're going to make it work through a D shield, Genji, Dragon Blade, and then he'll be able, because if you can execute a good Dragon Blade D shield, the backline, someone in the backline is going to die. They will 100%. They're very squishy. So we'll see if this works out. Magnetic actually did a decent job on the Greymane in the soul lane, so I don't think it was the problem. I think it was the team fighting, and I had a feeling they were going to go into Uther because he was really the only viable support with their comp right now, with what they're trying to do. Also, side note, Maiev is very good with Uther. Armored Assault is 16. You get armor from Uther. You know, or Uther throws out a W or a Q over the Maiev, and she gets infinitely a lot more damage output without having to use her abilities to gain armor. So, side note for that, whenever you're going to play Maiev in your Hero League, Team League, or you're building comps, she's very good with Uther.
I do want to correct myself. Blaze will not be top lane. That is their only tank, which I totally neglected to realize. So hey, Blaze will be in the 4-man. I'm assuming, yeah, as mentioned in chat, Greymane will be solo lane. On the left-hand side, though, I do want to start introducing teams. We have Average Joes, your winners in game number 1. Almost an identical composition. Psycho once again on Tracer. Random Task going to play the Junkrat. Tax 1K on Garrosh. John Knight 1 switching over to Sonya here. And Hanyu on the Malfurion.
All right, on the right side, Witch Rhythm, we have Matt 407 on that Blaze. Greymane played by Magnetic. We have the Genji on the Great Skinergy, Snowflake Mount Enskin, played by Blitz. We have Real Red Dad back on that Maiev, and Ender playing the Uther.
So it's going to depend on how well Uther can do shutting down any burst here, and the D shield. Yeah, you mentioned the D shield during the draft. Will it come into play? It doesn't have it right here now for Real Rad Dad. They're only level 1. Chunked out to half health. Maiev took a lot there, but able to scoot away with her, what's her E called? I can never remember what her E is called. But
you know what? You know I'm not the Maiev player for our team, so I don't know. We'll just say her dash. Ooh, it looks like Matt 407 on the Blaze is gonna get caught. Pulse bomb on the Blaze. Oh, Uther with the armor. Wait, gets the kill anyways by Tracer, securing that kill.
So already back to work, led the team in kills. Game number 1 was Tracer. Already getting first blood here on Dragonshire. Psycho showing that you need to ban away the Tracer when you're playing against Average Joes, because Psycho will connect and will get the kills. Siege camps being prioritized by both teams. They should be picked up around the same time. Uther the only one whacking on the side of Witch Rhythm, so it's going to be grabbed quicker by Average Joes, and finally joining is going to be Maiev and Blaze to get this completed. But altar spawning, position set up already by Average Joes. This is looking good if you're Average Joe so far.
Just a quick look in the top lane. Magnetic doing a great job against Sonya, and maybe this is why they want to draft the Greymane in the solo lane, because he forced Sonya to tap pretty early. He's been clearing the waves consistently quicker than Sonya, and he's just kind of bullying Sonya out. But Sonya hitting a nice spear on the Greymane. Now they're starting to trade. Sonya's spinning up on the wave and the Greymane. It looks like Sonya's going to win out this trade. Greymane's going to have to back and potentially tap. I'm going to assume.
All the while, we did see 2 kills down on the bot side. It was Uther and... no, not Greymane. Sorry, he's in the top lane. It was Uther and Maiev fell, I think.
Sorry for taking that one, boys.
It's all good. Yeah, it was Blaze. Uther and Blaze fell. Sorry. Yeah, so position is being won on the bot side heavily by Average Joe's. Top side, Genji finally showing up to help against the Sonya. Here on the bottom again, it is going to be Garrosh falling low. 200 health, has all that armor though, and Blaze is not enough trickle-in damage to finish off Garrosh, so he gets back to safety. They're gonna have to clear up this night camp that was picked up, and the wall took a lot of damage here. It's about halfway destroyed on that bot tower. They're going to try to finish working on a little huge toss on the Uther. The stun comes out from Blaze, trying to keep all that damage at bay, but this is definitely... oh, the counter attack might be good if Maiev can keep some sticky targets here. But yeah, again, if I am Average Joe's, I want to keep up what you had going early in this game. You have the pressure, you just need to wait for it to be lined up for you. Tracer needs her bomb ready to go. Garrosh needs to be ready to get the flip back. And you especially need your roots here from Malfurion, because right now it is all Witch Rhythm until Uther gets thrown into towers and a pulse bomb! That's a kill. Psycho.
I hate to see it.
You hate to see it. Uther tried to do what he could, but if you get thrown that deep as Uther, you have no escape. You got your armor, of course, but those towers in that pulse bomb, too much.
Too much. Tracer just rocking the damage numbers right now. Sitting at 12k, highest for his team. Next highest is on the opposite team, Maiev, rocking 8k damage. So, seeing how much work this Tracer is doing.
Random task in trouble to Genji. He's not going to opt for the swift strike in because a little bit too much health there. I missed another kill. That one was on the bot side. Looked like must have been tossed by Garrosh. So 5 kills now to 0. Average Joe's leading the way, and I don't know if, again, we talked about it during draft. I don't think the answer was found in game number 1, and so far we haven't seen it yet here in game number 2. Is the level 10 just really gonna have to be it? It's gonna have to be the D-Shield Dragon Blade. What else is there?
That's what it's. Hold on, we got to take a moment of silence, boys. Hype. We have Spatial Echo on the Tracer. I've been buying for this talent for forever. This is the talent to go, boys. Stop going blink time. Stop going everything else. Go Spatial Echo. Get your Tracer locked down. Get it tight. When you get a kill, you're gonna keep on getting more kills. Anyways, back with the action. Murder taken.
So I agree. If you're Psycho and you're getting 10 kills a game, why not have Spatial Echo? You know you're gonna get them. You can chase down more. This lane here, especially this bottom lane that's prioritized on Dragonshire, it's pretty long. So if you're fighting oh wow, and it's picked up. Wow, I did not even see that coming. Genji grabbing the first Dragon out of the game. This opportunity for Witch Rhythm to make it back in this game, but there is Real Rad Dad. Doesn't have an E available. Got tossed by Garrosh. Able to scoot back a safety. The punt by Genji inside the Dragon Knight is good to secure some safety there for IF.
Sneaks out.
Yeah, this
sneaks out.
A huge opportunity right now for Witcher to make it back in this game. I didn't even see that coming at all, and snagged away. Genji was waiting at mid for it, and they're gonna get this wall bot thrown back as map 407. No escape if you're Blaze. No way to get out. So make it 6 kills now for Average Joe's fighting up against the Dragon Knight. That's a huge pickup for them.
Yeah, and you know what? I think even though the Uther went down, Witch Rhythm really needed they needed something to go right for them in this series. You know, it kind of this buys time for Witch Rhythm because Average Joe's did get their 10s first, but right now they kind of, you know, Average Witch Rhythm bought themselves time to not lose a DK. They picked up a DK. They're gonna get 10 soon, so they're not gonna be scared around the map. While Average Joe's has 10. They will have their 10 shortly. Average Joe's is taking advantage of the short 10 advantage right now, stealing Siege Camp. But I'm sure Witcher of them will clean it up pretty shortly.
Yeah, having the level 10 advantage to move on to the camp, but level 10 is just now picked up for Witch Rhythm. They have the combo now available. Dragon Blade selected, waiting for Uther to see what he's going to take. We can only assume it's going to be D-Shield. Bunker, of course, go for the throat, and Warden's Cage.
Yeah, Uther holding on to his ulti. I don't think it's that curious, seeing as Average Joe's has a triple backline comp. I don't think you're gonna get too much value going Divine Storm, and the Divine Shield is picked by Uther. She tried to hide it for as long as possible, tried to stump everyone, but we knew it was coming out.
Knew it was coming, and both sides working on their bruiser cams. Greymane picks it up, low health. Looks like he's going to use a tap up at top, and there's a globe there for him as well if he wants it. Doesn't actually get it, but bot side, Knights are the play here for Witch Rhythm. They're playing aggressive, but falling is going to be, oh, Bunker baby
on the Blaze, but he cleansed out the pulse bomb. Let's see if he can get out. D-Shield goes on the Blaze to safety. He may not get out of here though. Gets stunned. Oh, he goes down.
A bit of a miscommunication between Uther and Blaze there. He got the D-Shield to get back to safety, but ended up hopping back into his bunker, and it was a little bit of an overlap protection there, and he didn't have enough time to get back to his wall. So it's a 3-for-0 there for Average Joe's, keeping the kills counting up, and they have time now to siege down this bot wall and work on possibly the well here in the bot lane if they want to go for it.
Yeah, it was unfortunate for that fight. I think it would have been better used if the Uther just gave the D-Shield to Dragon Blade Genji, because you had low people. The Tracer was low, Garrosh was low, so maybe if you finish off the Tracer, then finish off the Garrosh, even out that kill. Average Joe's trying to cap this. Blaze is stalling it out, gets knocked back from, oh, Sonya hits the spear, doesn't let Blaze get out of there. Bunker's been used, and it looks like Average Joe's there. They still want to kind of pressure off this pressing of Witch Rhythm, but the DK gets stalled out.
They did, however, bait out a bunker, which is pretty huge for them. It gives Tracer opportunity now to look for a pulse bomb without the defensive threat. All right, we do have a. So we'll take a switch over to the camera view here. Don't know what the holdup is. Looks like 323 has been called, and it is actually going to be lag. There is lag on the side of Witch Rhythm, so we're gonna continue to wait here. And while we have let's talk about the level 13 selections, because we finally see Junkrat, like we saw in game number 1, have the Ripper Air available, which will give him so much opportunity to double soak in the rest of this game and really help out the Sonya up in the top lane on Greymane, which is, I think Greymane's been doing a pretty good job thus far.
Yeah, no, he absolutely. I think if I had to give it to anyone, I would say Greymane's controlling the Sonya Sonya pretty well, because and he made an alteration to his talent. He went Quicksilver Bullets, which right now, if you're gonna put Greymane in your comp, you kind of know you need to go Quicksilver Bullets. Just kind of what it is. So he has range also to not be as close when he wants to put auto attack damage in the 5v5s. He's not as close and in range of Garrosh as well. So, and I would say, oh man, these talents. Spear on Sonya, pretty standard stuff. Pretty standard stuff all around.
So we are back in the game. Again, level 13 is achieved for Average Joes. They have a camp pushing in the top, and Sonya is trying to work on this Greymane. Misses a spear, and now Greymane is playing it aggressive back in Sonya's face. Her wrath is now expiring. Greymane might have an opportunity to get a kill here. Nope, he's going to back up. Bot side, we see Knights being grabbed all up. Wow, the Warden's Cage not connecting on anything. Here's the Riptire. Could finish off Maiev. The D-Shield has to be used. Now the Riptire is going to wait around and finds a connection onto Blaze there. Map 407 having the jet propulsion away does get back to safety. Both of these shrines controlled currently by Average Joes, except Greymane will grab it back up top for Witch Rhythm.
Greymane saving the shrine. Sonya's looking to fight this Greymane though. Greymane's gonna. Oh, Sonya pops Wrath, hits a big poison spear, and I think Greymane's gonna go down here.
Yeah, there's no way he lives. I missed a kill on the bot side, but I do want to see if this Greymane lives, and he will. Sonya gives up on it. Bot side, it looks like Blaze fell, so more control here for Average Joes. They're up 10-0 in kills right now. And they have an opportunity to grab a siege camp here. It looks like Junkrat's going to work his way up with that Ripper Air. Just as I mentioned, he's at the mid grabbing the dragon, and there it is. First dragon of the game for Average Joes. And they are going to be able to get the rest of this mid wall down, and definitely some of these fort structures here in mid and bot.
Yeah, Average Joes is going to take a 16 talent tier advantage after you get this fort. And it's a bit unfortunate because I feel the first skirmish before Sonya just popped her Wrath, Berserker, and Spear on Greymane. If Greymane almost secured that kill on Sonya, would have been given a big lead, but he didn't have his 13, he didn't have his movement speed, so he couldn't really keep up with the Sonya to get that kill. But DK will be pushing down this mid fort right now. 16 has been picked up by Average Joes. Looking at talents, we got Sleight of Hand on Tracer. We have a Rampage on Sonya. We got big AAs going up from Sonya and Spear. Malfurion, Nature's Balance. Junkrat has not picked the 16.
Junkrat's still in the Dragonite. I'm expecting to see the Endless Nades once again, like we saw in game number 1, worked out for him so well. Top side, they finally made an adjustment here, putting Maiev onto the Sonya here, but that's not going to do it for them. Dragonite was able to get started on the wall. It got one of the towers down, half on the other. Of course, they destroyed 2 forts during that phase, and they have a huge level lead. Soon it might even be 3 levels. They're 16 to 14 right now, and almost 17. And here's Siege Giants, which is really going to continue to help putting the pressure on.
Yeah, they're going for this invade because they can. They got the talent here. Maev's hanging around to see if he can do something. I doubt he's going to be able to. Looks like there's going to be a full collapse. Maiev gets tossed and taunted, gets punished for sticking around. Once again, the D-Shield has to be used defensively. You hate to see it. Goes down anyways. Just getting punished by this Garrosh. Witch Rhythm really has to stop. They gotta stop this momentum. They gotta start, I guess, respecting the Garrosh, because every time I see a D-shield used, it's in a defensive manner, and you never really want to use D-shield that way.
Yeah, and they're overlapping the bunker and the D shield, and you've seen
still
it
dying.
Yeah, and you've seen it time and again now. Random Task pulling the Riptire and waiting for targets to hop out of the bunker. They're just sitting ducks waiting to die to that Riptire, and it picked up another kill there. And without Maiev, for Siege Giants pushing down this bottom lane, this keep is under severe pressure because there's still no 16s picked up. Blaze is your only tank. He doesn't have a severe form of CC, just his jet propulsion stun, which is not enough. And if he gets stuck too deep by a Garrosh toss, he has no escape. He cannot walk through targets. He has no way to slide through them at all. There it is. The keep falls, and this is now a enormous advantage for average Joes because catapults are pushing down that bottom lane for the rest of the game, and we know one of the shrines is there. I don't think Witch Rhythm's gonna have an easy play at controlling that bottom shrine for the rest of the game.
No, you're right. Bottom lane is the strongest lane to control and to have a keep in. One, because it's not a very long lane. It's almost the same length as middle. And you have how the camps are set up on this map. If you have Catus pushing to your enemies bottom lane, you can easily take your siege and easily take the bruiser and have that strong siege and bruiser camp pushing on top of Catus. Looks like they also stole the bruiser on the top side, and they're looking to push down this fort as well.
Fort in top will fall. That's even more XP. What is a 3-level advantage is almost being extended to 4 once again. The bottom is being, or excuse me, the top is held right now by average Joes. They are going to make their way down to the bottom side, and as we mentioned, it's going to be really difficult for Witch Rhythm to counter that push that they're going to put down there. The catapults are already spawning down the lane, and they really just have to be patient. If you're Witch Rhythm, you have to wait till your ults are up. There's Blaze toss
thrown back.
Toss
no
back.
Greymane though. Greymane has been top. Oh no, hate to see it. 4v5s.
D-Shield coming out on himself from Uther. The toss forward by Garrosh. Matt 407 and the Blaze will fall. And there's the first kill of the game for Witch Rhythm. It's going to be Psycho falling on Tracer. A huge jump back. Dodging the Riptire was magnetic, but Garrosh going to make sure he doesn't get the safety. Uther the only one able to really help out Genji to clear anything there, but it's not nearly enough. It's a 3 for 1, and it's going to be a dragon because there's Garrosh walking onto the bottom shrine. There is absolutely nothing Genji wants to do right here in terms of defending against that shrine at the mid. Random Task and the Junkrat will be picking it up once again. Level 20 is not quite here. Do they go for the mid keep? Do they go for the core? Without Tracer, I think I'd rather see the mid keep play just to make sure you have level 20. It's a, I don't know, 14-1 in kills. They're feeling really confident. It looks like they are going to go for the core here, Lucky.
I would actually rather, it depends. It depends how you play this out. I mean, there's triple Katas. If you keep the Katas up, they provide a lot of extra sieging. But right now with the Tracer down, it looks like they're just going to hold out on the DK and kind of just try and, you know, dance around until maybe hopefully Tracer gets there. But you can absolutely, if they go in hard and they get counter engaged, they can absolutely throw this game because it is still a 5v4.
Still a 5v4.
Sorry, yeah, 5v4 in the favor of which.
Huge toss. Garrosh, the root was there. Taunted in now is Greymane. The D-Shield comes out to save him. There's the bunker as well. Warden's Cage locking in a few, but the Dragon Knight can break it because he is invulnerable to all those sorts of movement spells, and he can rip through the Warden Cage walls as easy as he wants. It is going to be the Garrosh falling, and looks like they want to get what they can on this core. The Dragon Knight only has 15 seconds left. Tracer's here getting stunned by Blaze. Will Psycho be able to live very low on health? Mouth has to get the heals, doesn't. Genji picks up that Swift Strike kill, 35% on the core. It's falling to the Dragon Knight, but it's not going to be killed by it. 10% left, and Junkrat able to get the job done at the end.
Junkrat.
2 victories picked up tonight by average Joes over Witch Rhythm, and wow, what a set. It was the same comp practically in both games out of average Joes. It worked both times. They take the 3 points in the standings, and yeah, what are your thoughts on game 2, Lucky?
Ooh, game 2, there was a moment where Witch Rhythm had cleared bottom. They bought themselves, and it was during the Dragon Knight fights. It was when they took that fight. Greymane was top. They already had 16, so they're on even talent here. I didn't understand why Greymane was soaking at 16 and a half. And then his team ended up taking him 4v5, 4v5 fight and losing pretty heavily, leading into DK, leading to the game. So maybe there was miscommunication, what was going on. Maybe the team thought, hey, we're all fighting. But Grayman was top fighting minions. Whatever, it's fine. Soken doing his thing, probably misplay, but his team made a bigger misplay taking that 4v5 fight with the Grammy not there, and they just got crushed, and it led to a DK, which ultimately led to the game-ending push.
It sure did. It sure did. I'm trying to find someone for an interview. I don't know who can come. Looks like we'll get Psycho and Random Test, so I'm gonna pull them in here. Yeah, hold on one sec. Click.
Yes, get the Tracer, man. Come on, Mr. Spatial Echo. Let's do this.
Actually, Lucky, head over to NGS. We'll be in lobby 1 or one of them.
Okay, sounds great.
Hello?
Hey!
We're interviewing here or one?
Yeah, here. Sorry, someone else was in 1. I said 1, didn't even look. There we go.
He is.
All right. So, wow. We saw practically the same exact composition in both games. Is this something that's practice, or is this something that you saw working in game 1, you just wanted again in game 2?
I mean, most of them are pretty good picks for us. So, and it was really good in their teams.
Yeah, I wanted to bring Psycho in because the Tracer play was outstanding in both games.
Yeah.
I think it was 11 kills game 1. You led the team in game number 2 as well with 5 kills. What's it with this hero? Is it just too good? I know Lucky loves Tracer as well.
I like to think that Tracer is probably the most overpowered hero in this game just because she has the ability to dodge everything. So I've spent a lot of time playing that hero specifically, and if you look at my profile, I'm 186 now with over 1,000 games. I know the character very well.
Shh. Listen, stop talking about Tracer being OP. They're gonna nerf her more. Shh, be quiet.
She's, in my opinion, she's one of the stronger characters in the game right now. The problem is that sometimes if you don't have the right support around her, it's hard to play her. So
I agree. She's also very mechanically demanding.
that is correct.
I wanted to give Psycho a shout out on your level 7 talent because I am a big fan. I always go Spatial Echo. I've always gone it. It's after you get that single kill, you can either recall out to safety with double blinks, or you can continue just doing Tracer things and getting kills. So shout out to you on the Tracer play. I liked it. I enjoyed watching both games with it picked.
Some shade being thrown in chat by Skigum. We don't want Psycho interview. Give us somebody good. What do you have to respond?
Those are our boys.
All right.
Yeah.
You getting some love from John Knight though. Psycho the god, legit Tracer god.
Yeah. That's Team Freelo, I believe, right? Yeah. So we scrim them a lot.
Awesome. Yeah, another quality team in NGS. Random task. So we saw Junkrat in 2 games. You led both games in both siege damage and hero damage. Very well played. Is this, like you said, a very comfortable hero for you at this point?
Yeah. Well, we really like Junkrat in general, and also just looking at their team. First of all, I actually have no idea why they picked Uther into that, because then I just throw lob things and they take that permanently. But basically, like with the Maiev, she wants to hard engage, and if I'm sitting really far back, can't do much.
Yeah, you just can't get back there. In game number 1, they had the ETC. I think there was a mosh pit you interrupted with a concussion mine. It looked like they had a huge engagement on you. And I don't know if it was the concussion mine, but it was the only thing I can assume that won you guys that fight.
Are you sure it wasn't Sundering or something?
I don't think the one I'm thinking of was Sundering. I think
the first one. No, the second mosh run-up was Sundering. But it was the first fight that there was a 2-man mosh. Thrall was rotating up. I don't think it was the Thrall.
I think it was Garrosh. They didn't get him.
Oh wow.
Okay. Yeah, he moshed 2 squishy heroes. So maybe Garrosh got the interrupt.
Yeah, whatever it was sick, because they definitely should have won that fight, and you guys turned it right around.
The thing is Junkrat is especially good with Garrosh because it's like throwing them over the wall, but like from mid-screen, So. Yeah,
absolutely. Oh, the Garrosh play was very good. When you talk to Tax later, let him know it was very, very solid Garrosh play. And especially if you have a hero that can play the Garrosh that well, team's got to think about banning it.
Yeah, I mean Garrosh is broken as shit, so like.
I have
honestly.
a question. I have
Yeah.
a question for you when you guys are done. So they're drafting in both games. They had a Greymane solo laner. Greymane's fallen kind of out of the meta quite a bit. I used to play a whole lot of Greymane, and even I realized at some point I'm just like, he's really not S tier anymore. And so you can't really. He's not that pick that's always going to be drafted. When you saw the Greymane solo laner in both games, did you say like, okay, they got a really squishy team? Did any game plan or any talking on how you felt about it? Did it feel scary, or were you just like, I have this, like, this is a silly draft?
No, it's easy mode because they're trying to engage really hard into a Garrosh, like I said, and then also, you know, the Greymane can do decently in a Tracer, but the thing is like I said, so Garrosh is going to be really good against the hard engage, and honestly, they just like they couldn't deal with the massive amount of displacement, basically.
I agree. We talked about the Garrosh. Counter where it's just like the Greymane wants to counter pressure the Tracer, but then Garrosh is like, no, but you can't walk up too close to my Tracer. You're gonna get taunted, stunned.
And then,
I agree.
And then thrown again.
Yeah.
But basically, like their comp had, you know, it was very susceptible to what we had. Like I said, with the Tracer being able to kind of move around in Maiev and the Garrosh just being a wall. With Mouth, you know, like half the time they walked into a Twilight Dream and they just can't do anything. The second game, I think their comp with the Uther and the Blaze, it was a little bit better in surviving a little bit, but main tank Blaze is just a little bit unreliable.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, to go back to your point, I honestly, especially on a level like Dragonshire, I can understand on Volskaya where it's mostly teamfight oriented, why they would want to say like, oh, we can throw anyone in the solo lane and they just fight later. Like people do that on Battlefield or in that level. But like on Dragonshire, you know, the solo lane is really important, and I'm surprised that they were willing to just throw Greymane in there.
Mm-hmm. There was a couple times where early game Greymane was actually doing well against Sonya, so I was surprised. I had to give kudos on Greymane in that aspect.
In like honestly, Greymane beats anyone in a 1-on-1 fight, and the key is that people need to not be afraid and just like go in immediately. The problem is that if the Sonya can take her time and just like not
trade out,
not trade out all the time, then she can, you know,
heal up
survive in the lane.
Whirlwind. It's sustain.
But basically, we were just throwing someone in the solo lane and just saying, "Here, deal with that. We want to try to win the 4-man."
Absolutely worked out for you.
So before we conclude this interview, I do want to give you guys an opportunity to give some shout outs. So I guess we'll start with Psycho if you want.
Go ahead.
Okay, I want to shout out to John Knight for telling me to unleash my inner animal.
Is that it?
Yep, that's it.
Okay.
Right.
I'm gonna give a shout out to we'll give a shout out to our team. We played really well today. It was a little frustrating in the beginning of both games, but we pulled through. You know, that practice is really helping us. Shout out to Team Freelo, we scrim partners, preparing us for all of our games. Shout out to, if we have any fans, them. Also shout out to Cav's Discord. That's where like half of our shit comes from.
Awesome. Well, that's
and Cav for that matter. He's been really helpful to us.
well. Shout out to you guys.
Yep.
All right, so that is all we have for you tonight here on this stream. This has been a Division A East matchup between Average Joes and Witch Rhythm, with Average Joes taking the domination, 3 points on the standings, heading their way. This has been Murda and Lucky, joined by Random Task and Psycho here for the interview. That's all we have for you. We'll see you next time. Adios, amigos.